Hello there everyone and welcome back to Tune Talk with Andy. Now in today's episode we will be talking about Rosenrot by Rammstein. Now this is not prog at all. We've mostly been doing prog on this channel, but this is more the industrial metal route, I'd say, at least from personal memory, although I think it classifies as Neue Deutsche Härte, or whatever it's called. I think it means something like new German metal or some stuff like that, but past research showed me that at least some of their albums are industrial metal, but it's kind of the same thing. We don't really care about these subgenres. It's basically just metal, yeah. But yeah, it's German, of course. Now, Rosenrot is the 5th studio album by the band Rammstein, and it was released on October 28th, 2005. The album includes 6 songs artistically omitted from Reise Reise, and fun fact, the album's first title was initially supposed to be Reise Reise Volume 2. Reise Reise was the album prior to this one. But on August 18th, 2005, the album was announced as Rosenrot. I think it would have been cool to have a sort of a Volume 2 of Reise Reise. I mean, we would have gotten the same songs regardless, but I feel like it would have been a bit cooler for the discography, but oh well. And yeah, with me today we have ya boy AGP. How's it going, man?
Hey, I've invaded your channel once again.
Yes, you snuck your way in. But yeah, you had a fun fact about this album. Could you share that with us?
Supposedly, you know, according to our good friend Wikipedia, you know,
Allegedly.
most trust. Yeah, the album cover to Rosenrot was actually the album cover that the Japanese got for Reise Reise. So
yeah, that's quite cool.
Yeah, just Reise Reise 2.0, I guess. This entire album.
And it was produced by Jacob Hellner. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the album itself.
Yeah!
Now, we start off with Benzene. Now, this is a song that is actually quite controversial in the Rammstein fanbase. Now, I know this myself because I grew up in Rammstein, and I was kind of a Rammstein fanboy for most of my life until I got introduced to more music. What did you say?
You're the Rammstein connoisseur, yeah?
Yeah, basically, at least on this channel. But yeah, this song is very controversial based on its quote-unquote simplicity and awful lyricism. I mean, I do get that, the lyrics are quite lazy, but I think it's a solid song overall. It does the job of getting you hyped. I think it has a fantastic opening, and it's just overall catchy. The drumming is quite nice, and the vocal runs are actually quite fun. It's just the fact that the riff is a bit simple, the lyrics are really lazy, and it does get a bit repetitive over time, but I really like the ending. So overall, not a bad song at all. I gave this a 7 out of 10. Your thoughts?
You know, I agree with your ranking. This is a 7 out of 10 for me. You know, I'm not that invested into the Rammstein, you know, fan base, so I don't know the lore. Yeah, this song
The lore.
Well, actually, I gave this a 7 to 7.5. It's like, but I gave this a 7. That's what I, in the final ranking, what I added up to. It's got a really good intro. I like the build-up they had. They managed to fit the clean guitar riff well with everything else during the explosion before the verse. The vocals are great. The vocal melodies, they're just Rammstein, you know.
Yeah.
When I hear those melodies, that's the most Rammstein fucking vocal thing I've ever heard in my life.
Not wrong, not wrong.
It's got a good chorus, but it's a bit too simple for my liking. I mean, repeating the title name 4 times, that's what AC/DC did.
Yeah.
I mean, it technically worked, but it feels so goddamn lazy. No hate to AC/DC, they got me into music in the first place. So I have a soft spot for them, but I really prefer a bit more better, lyricism in the chorus maybe, and just not be too lazy. The keys are great as always. I fucking love Flake or whatever his name is. Oh, what a G, what a man. Yeah. This would be awesome to hear at a concert. You know, I've seen some live videos, you know, they got the pyromaniac bullshit, the pyromaniac shit everywhere. The drums are fitting, but they're, you know, nothing special, at least in my opinion.
And to those of you who don't know, Flake is sort of I'd say the stage name to the keyboardist Christian
What is his name?
Lawrence.
Oh, is that his name?
So whenever you usually see his name, it's usually Christoph, then Flake Lawrence. But we usually call him Flake because it's a much cooler name than Christian.
I thought his real name was Flake. Oh my god, my bad.
It's all good. We fully understand what you mean. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so, you know, the next song, This next song is just iconic. It's Man gegen Man, which directly translated means man versus man, or something like that. Man against man.
Yep.
It's
That's
just
the one.
beautiful. This song has a fantastic title. I really like the bass line. The verse is good. I love the small variations, additions that they did in the arrangement, whether it be guitar or keys that they just got going on. They either panned that to like left or right. I don't really remember. The chorus is just iconic. This song, the music video too is just perfect. The key solo is fantastic. It really adds to the intensity. The vocals are fantastic. It's got a good outro. I gave this an 8 out of 10.
Wow, we actually have two songs that we both agree on. I think this is an 8 out of 10 as well. It has this funky bass line that gets me just immersed immediately. The opening is fantastic. I freaking love the chorus. It's so powerful, and it really does get your feet going. The verses are actually quite strong as well. I really like those. The ending is especially strong. And yeah, the instrumentals overall, they're class. They do the job to damn near perfection, in my opinion. It's just in certain spots where I feel like they could have added a bit of flair to spice things up a bit, but that might just be the prog lover in me who wants the band to just try a bit more, but I mean, it's not what they're known for, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't drag the rating down. The lyrics are quite sus, I'm not gonna lie. They're not necessarily bad, they're just a bit sus. And speaking of sus, they have this fantastic music video that everyone should check out. With your kids, without your kids, with your grandparents, anyone. It's just brilliant. It really adds to the song.
Fun for the family.
Yeah, fun for the family. The vocals are a bit mediocre at times, but it doesn't really matter on this type of song. But yeah, 8 out of 10, still a really good song, and one of the best on the album. Now, next up, we have the title song, I believe you call it, which is Rosenrot. I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. It's sweet. That's my best way of putting it. It's quite sweet. I do like the lyrics. Solid bass line, really like that. The opening is just class, just like most of the Rammstein songs. The first verse is actually, I wrote this down as extremely good. I really like the first verse. It just hits immediately, man. The lyricism and the build-up, I really like it. The chorus itself is really weak, which is why it's not as high as it could have been. If they just improved that a bit, it definitely would have reached, I'd say the potential is 9 for the song. But the chorus is so weak that it just doesn't quite reach that point. The storytelling is quite good, which coincides with the first verse, as it's extremely good. Now, if the other verses were as good as that, this would have immediately been like an 8 or 8.5. But sadly, the other verses, they're not bad. They're just not as good as the opening verse. But yeah, that's basically it. It's a 7.5 out of 10. Quite good. Could be better, but yeah. Your thoughts?
That's valid. I gave this a +1. This is an 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Oh, wow.
It's got a decent intro in the verse. I'd have to say, though, I like the later verses a lot better due to the arrangement choices. The first verse just didn't work for me at all. I love the additions of keys and, the deeper backing vocals that it really gives it that extra bit of, power and maybe boosts the atmosphere a little bit.
That's understandable.
Yeah, the drums in the verses, they work, but they feel so fucking lazy. That might just be the genre, I'm so used to prog and stuff, but it's like the most Meg White from the White Stripes bullshit I've ever heard. Bunk, 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 bunk. It's just
quite simple, yeah.
They really could have done something else, but it might just be the genre. I really like the chorus, so we have just different opinions on that. It's got a kick-ass instrumental break, I have to say. That's probably my favorite part of that song. Now, from Rosenrot, we go to Spring. This song has a very ominous intro. I like the keys. You're gonna hear me say this a lot. The vocal melodies are just Rammstein, again. Great riff. I also have written here the most Rammstein song Rammstein I've ever Rammsteined.
Okay, that's interesting.
The keys are excellent on the entire song. The great chorus instrumentally. The vocals back it up well, but the song isn't like nothing special. Like I feel like I've heard this song from Rammstein before. Yeah, so I still give it it's one of the better songs on the album still, I think, though. I gave it a 7.5, at least rating wise it's one of the better ones. But yeah.
Wow.
What do you think?
I used to love this song. This used to be like an 8.5 for me, but it's actually a 6 out of 10 for me now. It just doesn't really hit. I do like the bass line, and the chorus is fairly catchy. It does the job quite well. But the verses are just so unappealing, and I just get bored throughout. I think Spring means jump in German, I'm not quite sure. Either jump or run. But yeah, man, and the opening, it's just boring in my opinion, so... I barely have any notes on this, it's just kind of boring. And yeah, I'm just disheartened that I don't enjoy it as much as I used to, because this used to be the song that I put on to kind of jumpstart the gym sessions and stuff, but oh well. Yeah, on to the next song, which is Wo bist du? This is also one that I used to enjoy quite a lot, but it's now a 6.5 out of 10. To me, these two songs are just filler songs, they're nothing special. It has an intriguing opening, I'll give it that, and the bass line, as pretty much always, is quite funky and does the job quite well. The vocal runs are quite catchy, I'd say, and the instrumentals overall, they're okay. It's nothing phenomenal, nothing awful, but I feel like there is a sweet chorus there that's just let down by the vocals a bit. I do love Till Lindeman's voice, it's just that I didn't feel like it fit on this particular song. And yeah, the verses are just boring and not really appealing to me. Yeah. The lyricism too is Rammstein, basically. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10. Just a filler song. Your thoughts?
You know, this song, with like the first 5 seconds, I was like, oh yes, I love this. This is gonna be peak, you know, because you get the fake flute, I think, or just a normal flute.
Yeah.
It sounds very fake to me, but then they just fuck the entire song off by making the most generic bullshit ever by exploding and introducing everything. They could have done something so much better.
I agree.
With this. Like, this could have been like a very mellow, very soft, very lovely song, you know. Like, let's say, Frühling in Paris. I really like that song. They don't have to make everything heavy just for the sake of it. Like, that's the most pointless bullshit ever, and the song is just bland. I'm not a fan of the verses either. It's got a great outro, and that's the only thing that saves this from being in the under 5 range. So I gave this I gave this initially a 6.5. I think I'm gonna put it down to a 6 or a 5.5 actually.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly, and I do agree with pretty much all your points there.
Next up is maybe my favorite song on the album. It's between this and another one. Well, actually, maybe 3 songs actually, I don't know. This is Stirb nicht von mir. I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. It's got a great intro, the clean riff is really good. It's got great vocals, I love the vocal melodies. It's got the dynamics between the female and the male vocals, they hit very well. It's a really chill and nice song, and it's arguably one of my favorite Rammstein songs actually. It's got a great chorus too. But other than that, I don't have a lot to say though. So I don't really know what the these lyrics are talking about anyway, like, don't die before I do, like some man going into some woman's bedroom. I don't know. I don't know how.
No, it's just when you're deep in love, you really just do not want to see your partner go. So it's basically just that, and I feel like that's why it's a duet, because neither of them wants the other to die before them. So I feel like that's kind of the point there and why it's a duet. But yeah, go on.
Well, no, I'm finished.
You're finished. Okay. Well, I actually do. We have the exact same rating again.
Oh.
I gave this an 8.5 out of 10, and it is also one of my personal favorite Rammstein songs. But I didn't fully appreciate this until, I'd say, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I don't know why. It's just maybe because I was used to the heavier stuff back then. But yeah, it has this great opening with just nice lyrics overall. The vocal runs are so unique, and I'm greatly fascinated by them, I can't lie. And the duet between Till and the female singer, who we mentioned earlier on, it's just so beautiful, and it's a real tearjerker for me. It's such a good song. Everything about it, it's so sweet, it's so nice. The only downside is the fact that I wish this song was longer. I feel like this could have actually been... Let's see, how long is it before I start?
It's 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
I feel like this could have at least doubled that and done a bit more, instrumentally speaking. And if they did that, it has potential to be a 10 for me. But yeah, it's an 8.5 now. It's a bit short, but it's really sweet. So yeah, this is my favorite of the album, I'd say. But now, on from one banger to another one. Zerstören. Now, this song is probably the best of the quote-unquote powerful Rosenrot songs, in my personal opinion. This and Mann gegen Mann, those two are just right on par with for me. They're both 8 out of 10. And it has such a cool opening with this great riff. I really like it. The vocal runs are stellar, and the chorus, man, it's so good. It is a bit simple compared to other songs, but it still does the job to perfection, man. I really like it. And the ad-libs and backing vocals, man, they're just... I really like them. They're actually done really well. The lyrics, on the other hand, are a bit boring. The verses are just strictly decent, nothing too special about them. But the guitar solo is what drags it down by at least half a ranking. It's really disappointing. I really wanted more from my boy. But yeah, 8 out of 10. Still a strong song. Your thoughts?
So I don't know how much you will allow me to swear.
Go on. Just go ham.
Yeah, right. So this song has a fucking weird ass intro with it.
Yeah, I love that, man.
It's kind of, I don't know how to feel about it, but the instrumentals are kick ass, and I like the occasional yeah.
Yeah, man.
The verse is kick-ass, the chorus, though, is just such a letdown. It feels like another part of the verse. Like, I didn't know that was the chorus until, like, one point. Like, that was just, what is that chorus? The vocal effects are kinda cool, but they don't fit at fucking all. Like, it's like they had 3 ideas that can work, maybe in different songs, and they just mushed it together for no reason, and it doesn't work at all. And the moans and the baby noises throughout sometimes in the song, they can fuck off back to Germany. Like, that's just the most pointless shit ever. The instrumental break is fun. The vocal melodies are decent. They are good. The vocals aren't the best in my books. The outro is really good though. I like the riff on the keys and the vocal filter. Vocals are great during that part. The song is just bipolar as fuck. I gave this a 6.5 actually.
Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, this song just felt like Till Lindemann just doing his thing. This could have been a solo Till Lindemann song in my opinion, but yeah, go on.
Now on to Hilf mir. The transition from Zerstören scared me, as I thought they fucked up the outro by making it heavy again. The intro is decent though. The keys are great. The vocals are just Rammstein. Got some kick-ass instrumentals, so I have to say. The guitar work is a bit obnoxious at times. It feels like it's eating at my ears. Wait, just hold on. You know, I don't really remember, but yeah, it just eats at my ears. The outro is amazing. I love the arrangement choices they did there. I gave this a 7 actually, not a 6, a 7.
Okay, interesting. I gave this quite a similar rating, but just a smidge down. I gave this a 6.5 out of 10. It's a decent song, but it's still more of a filler song to me. It has this good opening riff. One thing that I really like the most is actually the ad-libs. They're really impactful and they do the job well. The ending is quite good, but yeah, it just gets boring with time, and the instrumentals after the opening riff just gets a bit boring to me personally. And yeah, the vocal runs, they're okay, but I feel like they could have been done or written a bit better, but I mean, this goes down to taste. Like, one man's trash is another man's gold, you know? So
in this case, the song is just not the goal at all.
Yeah, to me, it's just okay. It's just, I won't skip it. I won't skip a single song on the album. But yeah, it's just really not for me. On to the next one. Forgive me for swearing to you Latinos out there. Te quiero puta. For some reason, they decided to make this like Spanish or Mexican tune. Like, it's got like, I don't want to sound racist or anything, but they've got this like salsa-esque instrumentals with some backing vocals by some clear Spaniards. I don't mind it, it's just that it really caught me off guard. Now the opening is quite fun and unique, but that's more of a shock factor to me personally. I do not think this song would work live at all, but yeah, the opening riff is quite cool. And yeah, to me it just feels like Till was taking the absolute piss whilst writing this song, and I'm all for it. But yeah, I'm surprised by the fact that blue-haired girls haven't tried cancelling the song yet, because that feels like something those Twitter blue-haired girls would do. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was released before Twitter was even a thing. But yeah, the ending is stellar, and the instrumentals are quite fun, but again, more of a surprise/shock factor in it. I'm not a big fan of the vocal performance there from Till, not gonna lie. And the lyrics are just so moist, man. It's just moist. 7.5 out of 10, still a decent song. It's just... This doesn't really fit on the album, and that's just my take on it. Your thoughts?
This is among my 4 songs that I have ranked as a 8.5 out of 10, actually. I
Oh,
really like
wow.
this song. It's got an excellent intro. They combine, I have Mexico written there, they combine Mexico with metal superbly, but might be Spanish, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Latino, I
guess
guess.
Mexico because just fuck the Spaniards, I guess. I don't know. The verses are fantastic. I love the inclusion of trumpets. It's got a kick-ass chorus. I love this chorus. You know, you Ticaro puta. I just love that sentence. I really like the arrangement. The bridge on this song too is great. So as I said, gave this an 8.5 out of 10, which is a really good song. Now from Spanish horse or whatever, we go to Feuer und Wasser, which means fire and water. We start with a pretty Mutter reminiscent intro, at least arrangement wise, with the clean guitar and the vocals. Though we keep the mellow vibe for a lot longer than we do in Mutter. The vocals in the pre-chorus isn't the greatest. The chorus is decent. You know, it's just Rammstein chorus, at least in my books. I like the mood we have throughout the song, but I feel like I've heard this song before. The vocals are decent. Yeah, here we go. The raspy seduction shit does not work most of the time on this song for me. I gave this a 7 out of 10.
Okay, seems like you rank these songs a bit higher than me, because I gave this a 6 out of 10.
Oh!
Feuer und Wasser is just downright boring to me. The opening is especially boring. I haven't really noticed this being similar to Mutter in that regard, but it might just be because I love Mutter. It's one of my all-time favorite songs, but this one is just such a letdown. But yeah, overall, the vocal performance is decent, but nothing special from Till. The ending is quite nice, but the pacing is just so iffy to me throughout. It's not my cup of tea. I still wouldn't skip it though. But I know I said that I wouldn't really skip any songs on the album. This last one is probably one I will skip because it's called Ein Lied, which means one song or a song. I give this a 5.5 out of 10. It's just downright boring. There's nothing appealing about it. The opening is quite interesting, I'll give it that, and the lyricism is okay, but other than that, it's just downright, the instrumentals are boring, there's nothing special about it, boring vocal performance, and it's just a filler done somewhat wrong, because this is a filler song that I will just skip. I'm not a fan of it. I feel like this is a poor way to end an otherwise solid album. Should have been written much better, or just skip it altogether. Like, to me personally, they could have skipped the 2 last songs and just ended on Ti Quiero Puta, because it's so different to the rest of the album. But yeah, I mean, as I've said before, one man's trash is another man's treasure, so it's not for me, but it might be for you, so I'd still recommend checking it out, because there are definitely some redeeming qualities in every single song here. It's just not really my cup of tea. Your thoughts?
Your man's trash is definitely my gold. Let us say is that you're not gonna like this at all.
Okay.
I gave this an 8.5 out of 10.
Holy okay.
I really like the intro. The guitar,
Fair enough.
the guitar hits so well. The vocals are really good. They are so fitting to this song. The keys are great as usual. It's got a really chill vibe, and it really lets you take your breath and really look back on the entire album as a whole. So pacing wise, I think this is it's a fantastic ending to the album. I was really surprised when I heard this song. Like, I thought this was gonna be some weird ass shit maybe. But you know what fucking Wo bist du didn't do, this song definitely did do, and that was create a great mellow vibe that really makes you enjoy the song. Like, this is not the most Rammstein song ever, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this song. I don't really know how you don't like the song, so fuck you. But
Fair enough. It's just not.
it's
my
actually
cup of tea.
it's actually the song of the least amount of listens to on the Rosenrot on Spotify.
Yeah, I understand why. I fully understand why.
I don't.
Nah, but I love the fact that you found a song that you really like, even though I don't enjoy it myself. But yeah, overall, when you add all scores together, what did you get for the album?
So I got a 7.59, but I'm actually gonna round this down to a 7.25 or a 7, because you know, this song I don't really enjoy listening to the album as much as I would listen to songs, you know. Like, this just doesn't keep me that engaged throughout the entire album experience. That might be some pacing issues, I think, or just some, mediocre songs, especially that fucking Wo bist du bullshit.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I would much rather, I'd listen to Ein Lied stirb nicht von mir, maybe Rosenrot, and definitely Te quiero puta, but I don't think I care enough about the other songs to listen to them.
Not Man gegen Man.
Oh, that's just iconic song, man. But no, I'd only watch the music video once in a long while. But
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I actually added all the scores together and I got a perfect 7, and I do think that's actually spot on what I think about the album. It's definitely a solid album. It's just not really the Rammstein that I love. But yes, 7 is not bad at all. It's still a brilliant album. I recommend everyone to check it out. But I wouldn't start with this for Rammstein. I would much rather advise you guys to start with something like either Mutter or I'd say Reise Reise, if you want to get into this. Thank you so much for watching. We greatly appreciate you dropping by. AGP will return at some point, and I will return by myself for the next album. Now, have a good one, guys, and goodbye.